Hi, welcome to One Word a Day. I'm Sophie, your pilot into the universe of Chinese. We're going to continue our journey into the deep of this language. Yesterday, I told a beautiful story about the most famous soulmate in China. It's a musician and a listener. They came from different backgrounds and they clicked. And that moment was captured in this phrase, 高山流水. It means you totally resonate with this idea or message. I mean, in that case, it's about music because it's nonverbal. Nobody tell you what the other person was thinking or expressing, but you get it through the air, the energy, the concept, the intention was passed. So that's a beautiful moment, and we coined a phrase to capture that moment called 高山流水. And today we're going to have the same 流水, but it's a different story told here. And it came from a poem, which I'm going to share with you the full poem tomorrow. Big task, but yeah, I'm going to do it. So, 小桥流水. It's a Chinese vision of a beautiful home. You know, in America, the home concept probably like home sweet home, captured by that phrase. In Chinese, 小桥流水 is what embedded in our imagination of the representing image of what a good home life is about. It's 小桥. It involves a bridge and running water. Isn't that interesting? Okay, so we have 小, which came from, it almost looked like 川, right? But it's totally different, came from a different intention and logic. So we start from human figure. That's the most commonly seen Chinese concept. Okay, we have human figure like this, right? And when you see this as one unit of things, and you run a vertical line, separate it into two pieces, run a vertical line in the middle. You cut something in half, basically, and that make it half size or half volume or smaller, right? Definitely smaller. So that's our concept of 小. It's in relevance. It's in relativity. In relativity to the original form like that. And when we put a horizontal line, cut it into two pieces, for sure it's going to be half of the size of the original, right? So that's our concept of small. And we have a big, so which is a horizontal line to combine the two individual pieces, bind them together. So it's 2x, 2 times of the original. That's our big concept. So this is 小. And then we use just, I'm not sure, wait. Okay, let me think quickly. In English, when we say something, when we want to express a kind of affection about something, it's like little women, or little something, little, we use little, right? Over here, even if I translate that as small bridge, I cannot say little bridge, right? Because bridge is not a living thing, and it's probably not that cute. But Chinese, we use a 小 in front of a noun, almost similar to the similar effect as little in English. So we use 小桥 to express this kind of sentiment over there of attachment to this 桥, because this 桥is a bridge to home. It's somewhere close to your heart. So we have a small bridge there. Okay. 桥, okay, it came from left side as wood because ancient times, a lot of times a bridge was made with wood. That's an easier access material, as I imagine, than stones, unless you have quarries nearby can pile up with stone structure, but probably wooden bridge was more common back then. So that's the material bridge. And then the right side, 2 parts. It's a little bit hard to see, but okay, we have this arch and this space in the middle. And then we have the second layer of kind of another layer of window. So the window, first layer, second layer, and then we have a rooftop, right? So that's our concept of 高 is towering. So at least a 2-story building came from the image of 2-story building architecture to represent something tall, right? And then on the top, we have a like bend. And almost, okay, if we look at this whole thing, it looks like a starfish figure, like a human figure, have both arms sticking out, both legs sticking out, and then the head bending toward one side, right? That kind of imitating a human walking, like in a rush, almost like jumping over something, right? But that bending of the head, I remember somebody visit China a long time ago to say, why in China, when we observe pedestrians, their walking posture is always kind of forward bending. I think some very diplomatic response from a high official from China was like, okay, because Chinese people are going uphill, so they have to, forward bending, versus Americans, they're going downhill, so they kind of backward bending, kind of showing pride. They are not in a hurry. They are kind of laid back, versus Chinese are kind of forward bending, in a rush, trying to, reach their goals, be efficient, be productive, work hard, all that. So this forward bending looking head reminds me of that. So that kind of depict the pedestrians walking in a rush image. So this whole thing put together means the material of the bridge, and the bridge gotta be tall, like standing tall over river water, or this tall came from more complicated, luxurious bridge structure may have the stand or tower, little entry thing. Imagine British London Tower bridge, London Bridge, okay, with the towers on each end. So something like that. So that's a second interpretation of why we have a tall and a towering two-story structure in there, and then the people walking in a rush over the bridge. So that's the purpose of the bridge, serving people, bridge over, walking tall above water or through the towering both ends of the bridge over this most likely wooden bridge to the other end. So that's a long-winded explanation of bridge. So small bridge and a running river. We have water sign here, mainstream, two interrupted side streams, simplified into water like that. And then in our running, this behavior of water flowing, we have the material of water embedded in there. So water become a component in this liu. And you can see in contemporary Chinese, we don't even do the whole water. Again, that's too complicated. So we just use 3 dots, downward, downward, upwards. So that's our super simplification of water in there. And then the right side describes the behavior of the water, right? So over here, you can see the streams, like fluid dynamic image of streaming. And then we have this block, and it keep having this arrow pointing forward, just keep flowing, right? So interrupted or uninterrupted, obstructed or unobstructed, water keep flowing. So that's the behavior of water, and that's our water flowing symbol. And I mean, here it makes sense, right? Because it's flowing and it keeps going. That means there is a certain, the ground is not level, has to be a higher ground flowing to the lower ground. The gravity is doing its work. If it's static water, like within a reservoir or something, and these blockers are going to keep it still water to cage in, right? The water, hold the water body without flowing anywhere. And then there won't be an arrow behind the block to mean water keeps running. So this got to be a running water, not a still water. Okay. So we have 小桥流水 actually depicted in this beautiful, I call it idyllic. So that's the concept of Chinese homecoming or idyllic image of home. And you can see, I'm not sure if this is a drawing. This probably is not a drawing. This is, this is probably not a photo. It's probably a drawing. So it's, again, in some artist's mind to render what 小桥流水 looks like. So it's like a half moon shape arched bridge, but it does made from probably not stone, some slate thing, right? So there are different bridge building technique and material, but this is kind of an image that captured, you can row your boat across such half moon shape bridge, and you can walk over the bridge, and there are some spring flowers over there, and you can see the reflections of housings. So housings live pretty close above water, and with this white walls and black roofs. So that's kind of a type of living, kind of a small scale city town look in southern China, where they have more water body, and there's towns, however big, built around the river. And so it's, imagine, so it's kind of like a China Venus, right? Living near water, and this reflections of water, and household, many families live next to the river, and they have to build such bridges to connect different part of the town. And that is the ultimate dream or image of a Chinese peaceful hometown image, basically. So we do have this 小桥 and river involved. And this line was made famous from this poem. And this poem was somebody who came from that kind of background, living in southern part of China, a waterfront town. So that 小桥流水 was part of the dream. And then eventually it becomes the icon or the symbol for hometown for so many people. Even if, like, I grew up, I don't have water near me. I have a big river, which is not that kind of 小桥. It has to be a big 桥, a big bridge to cross. But this 小桥 is like a smaller waterway, more delicate, a smaller scale, probably more, to a good sense, pretty habitable, and you can imagine the people living in that environment. So 小桥流水. Tomorrow we're going to go to check out the full poem. And 小桥流水 was such a big part of Chinese culture. I hope you carry it with you. That's the Chinese ideal of idyllic hometown. Cashing to the currency of thinking by one word a day with Sophie. See you another day.